What's up guys, welcome back to a new Record of Ragnarok video, and as the title suggests, the leaks are out for chapter 51, so expect all these spoilers ahead, and of course some are pretty insane. I've been covering Record of Ragnarok as a series now for over a year, so make sure to subscribe if you enjoy chapter reviews, what if battles, explain videos, and much more to come. The chapter seems to begin with some Beelzebub action, and Beelzebub is explored later in the chapter with his importance to Herjun and more reveals regarding Beelzebub to be expected. But we see the aftermath of Herjun taking out one of Buddha's eyes, with of course Buddha feeling immense pain but Herjun laughing demonically, and we also see Herjun seems to pretty much change his whole hand into an axe similar to the misery axe that Zero was using to fight Buddha prior, so he can morph his arm into various other weapons similar to how Zero was morphing his weapon into other weapons, but this is pretty much a more enhanced version of that if you had to ask me my opinion on it. But yeah, we see them two clashing quite a bit. Buddha is still being the aggressor somewhat, trying to land a few blows, but it's very clear that Buddha is inferior to the current Herjun, or at least while using weapons he hasn't used. And then from there we also get Hades explain some more about, I'm guessing, the legend of Herjun and what he did in the underworld to become the legendary berserker. So expect more information about his legend to be explored as well, and I'm guessing this is more so Hades' perspective on it, because he may not be, or as he said last chapter, he had never seen Herjun, so it's probably being told to him by someone else. And then of course the biggest reveal of the leaks, we learned that Beelzebub was indeed connected to placing Herjun inside of Zero. We actually see the scene in the leaked panels of, I'm guessing, Herjun running out of energy and reverting to this weird worm thing, and then Beelzebub found that worm, did maybe some experiments on it, and ended up putting it inside of Zero. So all along, regardless of what Beelzebub said in his initial introduction about Hades, kind of implying he had no idea how Hades got there, but it seems based on these leaks that Beelzebub was the key person in putting Herjun inside of Zero. But again, these are just leaks, so we don't see every panel. It could be a completely different story, but based on what I'm seeing here, that's what it seems to be like. And then we cut back to the fight with Herjun actually landing a direct strike on Buddha's foot, so doing more and more damage to Buddha. But Buddha, regardless of getting absolutely dominated at this point, he seems to be still up for the fight and has like a rage or fire burning within himself, so he's pretty much amping up his power even more to take out Herjun. I'm guessing Herjun is probably mocking Buddha or potentially mocking Zero or something crazy like that. And if you don't know, Buddha's weapon reacts to his emotion, so the emotion he's most likely showing here is rage or anger. So we see a new transformation of his weapon, with it seeming like a monkey head, so I'm guessing it links to the Monkey King Sun Wukong. That's my interpretation based on it looking like a monkey head, and it does have like a blade on the other side, so it's like a monkey head scythe type of thing. Looks pretty badass. But regardless of Buddha unleashing his anger transformation, I guess Herjun is still absolute psychopath and getting ready to fight, and then we see them to clash one another. But again, Herjun is able to land the blow on Buddha, dealing immense damage. But regardless of taking immense damage, Buddha isn't backing down, and that's the final part of the leaks of Buddha, after getting hit by Herjun, is still trying to push forward. I'm guessing that's where we're going to see the climax of next chapter, unless of course it does happen this chapter, because these are just a few panels of the whole chapter, the leaks, as I've said before. So as a whole, Beelzebub is a sussy boy and is indeed most likely involved in Herjun being inside of Zero. We still probably won't get an understanding of what actually happened to Herjun and why he supposedly disappeared or something like that. So most likely learn that in the future, hopefully. Hades is pretty much telling the story of Herjun more, but not really unique details, and Beelzebub seems to be directly connected to what's going on here. So absolute hype all around. That should be everything for today's video. Stay tuned for the full chapter review in a few days. The full Raw should come out on the 27th or 28th, and then the translation team will have the English chapter out a few days after that, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you haven't already, join the Discord, and shout out to the people who support the channel via the Patreon. But yep, that's it guys, peace.